Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and the first gear haul of 2026. Now this is going to be a mixture of some gear that I've received from brands and also largely some gear that I've bought personally, just because it caught my eye, and there will be full-length videos on basically all of it coming up on the channel. Now let's crack on first of all with the hand warmers by Ocoopa. Now this is a brand that has quite a few different hand warmer models. These are electronic hand warmers that, whilst they look like a single unit, they're actually two units that magnetically attach together, meaning that you can use it as one larger hand warmer. They are easier to keep track of because they're together, but you can pull them apart and have one in each hand, one in each pocket. They have a rubberized exterior, which is very comfortable. And on the inside, we have the buttons, power indicators, and USB-C charging. To turn on, they just press and hold, and then you have 3 different levels of heat. And once they get going, they do get good and warm. In terms of cost, I believe these come in at £18 for the set, and as part of purchases, you get in the box a couple of silicone style lanyards to attach so you don't drop them in the snow. A USB-A to USB-C split cable, so you have 2 USB-C ends, so you can just plug this into a single port and charge both of them. A lovely little soft pouch so that you can keep track of them. I will say that this is a little snug, but it does get the job done. And you can, of course, also keep a charging cable in there as well. I would mostly just use this to keep them from getting scratched up. And in terms of all the juicy information, these have a 2600 milliamp hour battery in each of them. It takes about 3 hours to charge from empty, and the various charging levels are 100 to 108 degrees Fahrenheit, 6 hours each. 109 to 117 Fahrenheit for 5 hours, or the max temperature is 118 to 125 for 4 hours each. So even if you go for the highest temperature, you're still going to be getting 4 hours out of these, even though they are quite small, and obviously being USB-C rechargeable, you're going to be able to top them up on the go should you need to as well. Next up from Maxpedition are new smaller sizes of the Platy and Pocket Organiser. These are the smallest sizes of each relative that they do, and these have become very compelling little pocket carries in their own right just because of the size. Now, first of all, for a size comparison to the larger of the Platties, you can see that this new small one is just a little baby. And we have also adopted the curve of what you more typically find in a front pocket organizer. So this is meant to basically just sit in the corner of your pocket. We have the neck strap lanyard with sliding toggle, little grab handle on top with pouch or sleeves on both sides, as well as a zipper compartment for some more secure goods. And you can use this for gear, you can use this as a little bit of a wallet if you want to as well. And initial thoughts on this were basically this is actually small enough that I would perhaps consider using the toggle, especially if you want to have a more discreet carry against your body, underneath the jacket, underneath the shirt. And when you take something from this size to this size, it just completely changes the use cases and makes it a lot more compelling. Similar case with the pocket organizer. Here it is against the, I want to say, mini, and it is just a baby in comparison. But when you shrink it down to this size, it actually basically becomes very similar to a lot of EDC pouches that you see going around on Instagram and then made by other more budget-friendly brands. But it took Maxpedition shrinking down their iconic one for me to realize that all those pouches are just small Maxpedition pocket organizers. We have the iconic mesh front pocket on the front, a hook and loop field on the back for morale patches or ranger eyes, a little grab handle, and inside in the full flat construction we have some sleeves for you to store things behind, some different size elastic loops, and a little attachment point for anything you'd like to clip. And these will be getting their own videos individually, including what I've ended up using them for. I've had these for a little while, and whilst I've emptied them for this, video, I do actually have loadouts that I do enjoy using these for. Next, from the brand Inui, I think that's pronounced Iniu. I've seen this brand kick around a lot on Amazon, and it's featured in a lot of different people's kits. It's a very up-and-coming brand that's quickly becoming popular and is meant to have great quality for having a compact size. So I figured, why not? I'll go ahead and grab one. This is a 10,000 watt, 10,000 milliamp hour, good lord, 10,000 watts, 22.5 watt fast charger. We have a nice display on the front so you can see charging speed and also what you're getting percentage wise. We have two USB-A ports and a USB-C in-out port, bidirectional, that supports PD fast charging. It also has a slide-out kickstand that at first I was surprised, but it actually works pretty well, and it makes a lot of sense, especially for use case situations like particularly long train rides, plane trips, where you're going to be watching something on your phone, but you probably also want to keep your phone topped up. You can just sit it in this with a small cable connecting it to it, keep your phone topped up, and it is actually a decent, not a great, but a decent phone stand. So you can also save yourself that little bit of extra carry by not having to bring a dedicated stand. Now, with this, you do get a mesh pouch, which is very similar of what Anker used to include. I'm not sure if they still do. I haven't had one from an Anker power bank in a little while. And what feels like a very good quality USB-A to C cable, which I'll probably keep in the pouch with it. I've only used this a little bit so far, but the charging speeds are very nice. And for the size, this amount of output, just being able to not just fast charge in terms of speed, but being able to connect three things at once is great utility, to be honest. And for the size, this is going to be very compelling for a lot of loadouts, and you'll probably see this guy popping up on the channel. Swiss Army knives are back. That's right, it's been quite a long time since I treated myself to a new Swiss Army knife. This is the Pioneer X, which is just a Pioneer with an additional layer for the scissors. For those of you that might be thinking, hey, this looks a little bit weird for a Swiss Army knife, if you're used to seeing something like this. This is the 93mm range. This is an Alox scale, basically textured aluminium. And generally, with that 2 extra millimeters, you're going to get thicker, beefier tools in general, such as the knife blade being a little longer and thicker. And generally they just feel a lot more hefty while still having the overall same tools that you find. Now, as this is a riff on the Pioneer, you do get this lovely, terrifyingly sharp awl, which from experience is fantastic at unpicking stitches. And I've just thrown a little glow fob on there. You guys sometimes ask me where I get these. I will try and link down below, but this particular brand is Polymath Products. They were out last time I tried to link them. Just look up glow in the dark, zippable, and you'll probably find something similar. I've wanted a Pioneer X or just a beefier Alox model for a while. I do have a couple of other Pioneers, and I'm looking forward to carrying this. I think the addition of the excellent Victorinox scissors is going to make this a very compelling carry. Something a little different on the channel, but something that I was quite blown away by, to be honest. This is an ATuMan, however you'd like to pronounce that, Ratchet Set, which for about £13 comes in this nice plastic case, good beefy clip to keep it closed, and you have a set of bits. These are stubby bits and what appears to be a T-section wrench, or a T-handle wrench. Now, this is quite a modern design. I would say it looks kind of EDC-ish inherently. This is just a tool, but it will fit in the EDC aesthetic quite well. And as you can see, this is a T-handle ratchet. Change the direction there. But this is all entirely modular. These two sections pull off, as does this extension bit, and you can kind of just play Lego to build what you want. If you want to build an inline driver, then you can just connect these pieces and throw in a bit, and boom, you have an inline driver. If you want to make a more traditional ratchet instead of a T-handle, boom. Easy, done. Now, the main thing that attracted me to this was not only its modularity, which makes it very flexible, but also just the value on display here. Like I said, this was about £13. This feels very well made. Even the plastic case is very nice. You get a good selection of bits, including Security Talks bits. For £13, this is crazy value. And I was originally looking at this for the bits, primarily, to be honest. I wanted some decent quality bits for the next item you'll be seeing. And I was very surprised with the overall quality of everything involved. So you'll be seeing either the kit or the kit broken up. I might even get another one so that I can break it up and still have an intact one, to be honest, coming up in different kits and loadouts on the channel in the future. This is seriously good. You guys should really check this one out. Our next item is an accessory from a brand called Galvanox that makes Leatherman accessory products, and it's basically an inline adapter extender and a 90-degree ratchet that's designed to fit Leathermans. So Leathermans have a flat driver. This is the wave. And these drivers take these flat bits so that they fit a little nicer. And so this just slots in here and you get an additional little bit of reach, and then you can also use full hexagonal bits. For example, what I originally looked into this kit for. Now these are stubby bits, so on some of this it is a little this sinks quite deep. It does work better on the ratchet, but that's the general idea. Now Leatherman does make their own version of these things. So for example, here is the official Leatherman bit driver extender, and you can get a longer version that is basically just a black version of this. And they do make their own inline ratchet. Obviously this is a 90-degree option. But as is so often with Leatherman, it is the price that is a factor, right? These two things together, I believe, were £22, give or take, and they are readily available on Amazon. I don't even know if you can still buy the bit driver, but this was close to 30, I want to say. And even this basic extender is more expensive than having this set. So it's really the value that comes in clutch here if you don't want to spend the extra money on the Leatherman goods. Now, I didn't buy it. I might do at some point in future. They do also offer their own version of the Leatherman flat bit kit, where instead of having two of these cards, it's a double-sided card, so everything is in a single piece, which makes it a lot easier to carry. I'll probably grab that at some point in future. But for the price, these add just a nice bit of flexibility and versatility to a Leatherman. And they do accept the flat bits as well. As you can see, it protrudes a little bit through the wrench. Now, I will say this doesn't really have a locking position like the inline ratchet from Leatherman does, where you can lock it in the middle and it basically just becomes an extension, as well as the two different normal ratchet modes. So that is something to bear in mind. But again, for the price and the low additional price of your hands smelling like machine oil for like a week, these are fantastic value. And if you're looking for accessories for a Leatherman or a similar Leatherman style multi-tool that uses these flat bits, perhaps something inspired by Leatherman, then I can greatly recommend Galvanox, and you'll be seeing these guys very soon. And finally, from carrier brand Allett, ALLETT, we have a wallet, pen, and sling bag. This is, I believe, the ID wallet, which has a leather exterior and contrasting recycled nylon interior with ID window, a couple of normal card slots, another one here. This is actually a sleeve for the micro pen that they sell, and your normal way of carrying bills, receipts, that kind of thing. I've been carrying this guy for a couple weeks now as my main wallet in my bag, and well, you'll see a full review on this guy. To be honest, out of the two of these, this is the more exciting product for me. This is one of their sling bags, the exact version of which will be in the links down below. And it's just a, first of all, gorgeous color with a nice contrasting orange interior, seatbelt style straps, and just a thoughtful overall construction. Now, in terms of sling bags, I'm not the most experienced. I have a TomTok one otherwise that I use daily. This is kind of nicer in a lot of ways. In this front pouch we have, I kind of had to see, a kind of microfiber-ish soft interior so that you can put your phone, sunglasses, stuff like that in here without them getting scratched. In the main interior we have a dedicated slot for the micro pen that they sell, which is just this little tiny guy, which is enough to sign a receipt, jot down a license plate should you need to, give somebody a phone number, that kind of thing. And like I said previously, it does have a spot in the wallet as well. And we have the key leash or general attachment point. This is quite nice because you do have this flex breakpoint, so you can put stuff on here without necessarily being a clip. These quite nice stretchy internal organizers that have enough flex to fit stuff in but are tight enough to hold it in place. This does expand out pretty decently. And then in front we have a divided section with a zipper pocket as well. I want to say off the top of my head this is meant to be able to hold an iPad mini or something. I don't have an iPad mini to show you, but I have no doubt that it would. And yeah, I've been using this in the wallet for quite a little while now, and you'll get full reviews of each and links to the specific models they are down in the description below. So that's the first haul of 2026. Again, there will be, where possible, affiliate links down in the description if you would like to pick these up and support the channel. And if any of this caught your eye, or if you have any products you'd like to see on the channel in future, let me know in the comment section down below. Whilst you're down there, I would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. It does greatly help the channel at no additional cost to yourself, but if you would like to take on a little bit of additional cost, please consider a coffee donation, Patreon, or YouTube membership. I've been Paul. This has been a whole bunch of fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.